All right, what is up, everyone? We are here. It is time for the extended discussion of the Barney and Betty Hill abduction.
Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill. This is such a big topic. I was really excited for this discussion. I'm glad that we put this in place for this discussion. Not for it, but it's here in time for it.
What do you mean?
Like, we started doing this after this episode came out.
The timing, right. Because every episode until, like, 2 weeks ago, we did not get this special treatment of a episode discussion. It is starting. What's up, Orc of the Whale? If you guys can hear my laptop, we you know, it's not as hot up here as it has been.
Right, but it's still summer.
So here's what. First of all, how is it in the chat? Let us know. Is it a little laggy? Is the audio good? Is the video good?
Is it bearable?
It's probably going to be like a month or two of this asking because I don't know. We got lights, we got the camera, we got action. That's what else do you possibly want? So let us know if it sounds okay. So here's my first question, Charlie.
Yes.
I want to ask you this without like biasing what you're about to say.
Okay.
What would you call the name of this episode? How would you say it?
I said the Barney and Betty Hill abduction.
Yeah. For some reason in my head, I've always called Everything Looks Good to Me. All right, cool. I've always said the Betty and Barney Hill. But then I've looked it up, and more often than not, it's Barney and Betty, which is what we used, which is what you said. Mm-hmm. But in my head, and I think you said it to start this, is Betty and Barney.
Yeah, well...
How do you feel about that?
I feel like both their names start with a B. They have the same consonant, and it's easy to flip-flop.
Yeah.
Like, our names, I think, are pretty well set. Typically, Tyler and Charlie, because they're not as easy to flip-flop.
There was a joke sometime where we mentioned it, and now people emphasize the Charlie and Tyler. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That was my opening rant about this, because it's been on my mind since we dropped. What's up?
Hey, it's Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Yes.
Get some sleep. I don't know what that's like, but I recommend you get some sleep. Also, I just want to do a PSA really quick right now. Our Patreon Google Hangout is at 8:45 p.m. So this is going to be, when we started deciding we were going to do these Twitch episode discussions, we were thinking they'd be about a half hour. Maybe not always, but today probably will be.
That's hard.
It will be probably a half hour. So at 8:30 Eastern time, we're probably going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be that cane just...
So if you have an idea you really want to get in, just type it in.
Yeah, like don't wait.
It is 1 a.m. for Yasmin right now.
That is... It's not... It's late.
It's late. It's not that... I know you're going to say it's not that late. But it's still pretty late.
That's when the creative juju comes.
Yeah, you always have your best ideas.
Always. 1 a.m.
In the wee hours.
Or when I'm at work, when I can't do anything about it. So, what topics that we touched on from the Barney and Betty Hill abduction, which is also known as the incident, which is also known as the Zeta Reticuli incident. Mm-hmm. What do you want to touch on, Charlie? What do you want to expand upon?
I want to touch upon the idea that we had. I thought it was a really interesting...
you can see the farmer's tan real bad. Oh my.
It's pretty good.
Need some longer sleeves up in here. Don't look at me.
We went on a bit of a maybe left field tangent about how this could have been an attack from people.
Yeah, let's bring realism back in here.
Well,
let's make everyone feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. Well, I thought it was a pretty good idea. I hadn't heard that before either. So,
yeah, I agree. The audio from when they were under was terrifying. I actually skipped it when I was listening to this edit. It was last night, and I was walking late. It was dark.
You skipped it?
I skipped it.
Why?
Because it was scary.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think it's scary? I listened to Betty's. I did not listen to Barney's.
Barney screams a lot more.
Yeah. Have you ever listened to one of our edits walking late at night by yourself?
No. I've not done that.
It's a vibe.
I've not done that. That's not my... I'm usually in my office when I listen to them.
But anyway, so I'll let you finish your...
Oh, okay. My idea. So, I wonder what the chat thinks about this idea that maybe it was some kind of racist attack. I don't know how else to say it besides just that. Is that just me that maybe thought that, or does anyone think that's a way that could have gone? Why would they hide it if that's what the case? Yeah. When you said it could be used to strengthen their platform for the NAACP and to show what they're fighting against. It could be used that way, but also it could have been, I think, could have been perceived as weakness. I don't think it is weakness that they're attacked. That's obviously not the case. But I could see that back in that day.
I feel like they would have shed light on it. I do. I think they would have brought attention to it to show this is a very real thing. Like, I almost feel like if that is what happened, by sweeping it under the rug is just going to let it continue. Which obviously, even now, like, stuff has changed.
And they sound way less credible if they say it's an alien attack. Like, why wouldn't you just say we were attacked by people?
I don't think it's a long shot, but I think the symptoms afterwards outweighs it. I think that's fair.
I agree.
That was kind of the realization we came to, where there was just a lot of different... Like, once we started going down that path, but then we pulled back and was like, the markings on the car, the radiation, the genital warts, like all these types of things that scream alien abduction. But we're also doing our due diligence to try and
I wanted to touch on that again because I do think it's a valid question. Just like
it being Ruth.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about that. You don't think really think it's Ruth, do you?
I think. I mean, it could be, right?
I don't think so. I don't.
How
would Ruth know about the spontaneous vacation?
Well, what if she happened to be in the area at the diner? Or
in Vermont?
Well, see, we were told it was spontaneous, but that doesn't mean they weren't telling people about it.
Oh, that's true. Like the week before, like, oh, we're gonna go on this trip.
They posted on Facebook.
They paid for an ad in the newspaper.
Well, let's see this. Oh. Drugged the couple. Barney has military background. They were more physical to Barney, and of course, if they were drugged and maybe given LSD, people in suits could be seen as aliens.
Absolutely.
I'm purely pulling from the fact that if they were drugged, Barney got the brunt of it, which obviously his ex would want to take more out on him, and also be simultaneously interested in whether she was pregnant. I
don't think Ruth.
Do you think how hard? Much. No, I don't think this is like. I don't think it's what happened. But also, how hard would it be for Ruth to get? Well, no, because it probably would be difficult for her to get a gang, unless it was like.
It could be like family though.
Yeah. It was probably aliens.
I don't think Ruth. Hi, Logan.
What gets me about their experience is the eye thing Barney had. It seemed like they pressed their own eyes on his, or if it was a mechanical device they used. I was thinking it was a mechanical device that he wasn't able to properly explain what it was. It made me feel almost like a needle going into the eye.
See, to me it felt kind of like some kind of psychic oppression. Some kind of telepathic oppression.
Oh, happy birthday, Erin.
Oh, happy birthday. Oh, yeah, it is Erin's birthday. I hope they're feeling better, too. Logan and Erin both have COVID.
Diagnosed with alien warts.
Actually, that was used to discredit Barney.
Really?
That he was cheating on Betty.
Ugh.
That's gross.
Wait, was he? Or is it an accusation?
It's an accusation.
I see. Seems like something Ruth would be invested in.
Let's talk about... It's an interesting point. You're going to die on this hill?
No. I think it's aliens. I've already believable.
Okay, you're right. You did. Although, you say it, and I think it's more plausible every time you say it.
There's a true crime podcast out there that could probably spin this that way.
Absolutely.
Why not? Like, I got the moon on my shirt.
I wonder if... I didn't see it, but I wonder if Barney's children were ever interviewed.
Did they have children?
Ruth and Barney had kids.
Oh, that's right. They had 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't want to speak on this.
I don't know. That'd be very
Didn't invite me to Niagara Falls. I want to go to the WWE store.
So another thing I also want to talk about, which we talked about in private, and then we put onto the podcast.
Oh, I see.
Did they leave the ground?
Yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that they ever left and went into space? Or do you think gas prices got the best of them and they just stayed put, but they were so disoriented because they were inside the ship? Also, what made them so disoriented? The pink powder? That
could be. The pink powder, or maybe even heavy electromagnetic fields.
Big magnets. They fridged us.
Big magnets.
I never even considered that they didn't leave Earth until you mentioned it. But then you said it, and it's kind of like, well, why not? Like,
I think it would have been more obvious that there was something going on if they had left.
Yeah.
But also, if they didn't leave, how'd they move the car?
That's true. One of the aliens took it for a test drive. Like, let's give this thing a
I'm in the whip.
I don't know. I think it almost seems like an unnecessary detail, but it's also interesting to think about.
Chris said Alien Warts sounds like a punk band name.
Yeah.
I think it sounds pretty good.
Alien Warts. Now, but then maybe, although I was going to say maybe the radiation came because they did leave the atmosphere, but at the same time there might have already been radiation inside of the ship.
Just from being aliens.
Yeah, just from being aliens. They bathe in the radiation. What if it was a kidnapping by Jordan Peele? #nope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
we are not.
That was the case.
We are not going to spoil Nope.
Right.
All I'm going to say is you should definitely watch it, and then we can chat about it. Maybe we'll have a Nope Twitch discussion.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I actually would not mind jumping on here sometime and talking about Nope because I truly enjoyed it. I really like Jordan Peele though, so maybe I'm a little biased.
I do too. I
I
watched one of his sketches today. The texting one.
Yeah.
So you want to hang out? You're like, do you even want to hang out? That one.
Dude, Jordan Peele is so good. Keegan is just sitting there like, good for him.
I thought they're still friends. Keegan's been doing stuff, but nothing like that.
It's almost like they were here, and then Keegan got all these parts in movies, and Jordan was just here waiting in the shadows.
Yeah.
And then the movies came out, and it's just like, bam. But I hope, it would be amazing for Jordan to cast Keegan in one of his movies.
He should. I don't know why he hasn't yet.
I think they're trying to, it's like when they're tag team champions.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we gotta do our solo thing. And Jordan is Jeff Hardy. And that means Keegan is Matt Hardy. I'm just going to leave that as it is.
I don't know what that means.
I haven't seen it. I just know it's got something to do with aliens.
Matt Hardy me.
Well, Jeff's had a worse personal life, so.
All right, good.
It's a professional versus personal. Well, good, he says. Yeah, that's great. So, what do you think about the map? She perfectly drew. And is it Zeta Reticuli?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just bad at saying it.
Okay.
Zeta Reticuli. I said Zeta Reticular at one point.
Yeah.
Zeta Reticula.
I know on Segway podcast, it was always Zeta Reticula. And I literally searched it and I couldn't find it. But obviously, that is where, what's-her-name got the Zeta talk. Mm-hmm. Like the idea that the lady from Nibiru, that episode.
Nibiru. Yeah. Nibiru?
Nibiru. Planet X.
Yes. It comes from that.
Is the link for the audio clips in Discord?
Is the link for the audio clips in Discord? No, but it will be.
You should post it on Facebook as well.
I will put it everywhere if you want me to. Well, I'll put it on Facebook and Discord.
The audio clips are terrifying. Thank you for saying that, Logan, because earlier, about 5 minutes ago, I was mentioning how on my walk late at night by myself because my dog is dead, I was listening to this episode alone, and I had to skip those audio parts because it was terrifying.
They're only like a minute each in the episode.
Yeah. You know what? I was actually surprised. We didn't get caught for copyright on YouTube.
Because of those? I think they're old enough. Last podcast used them too. Spoilers.
If last podcast, thank you, Logan. If last podcast does it,
that was my idea. I was like, if they did it and they didn't get fired for it,
you know what we should do? We should just after every episode they drop, we should do that the next week.
Well,
that'd be hilarious. Actually, I wonder how long it would. That would be okay. Listen, how
mad?
How badly do you want to meet them?
I don't want to meet them in court.
Be like, do you, the defendant? Oh my God, hi! I just want to say I love you guys so much. Yeah, I plead guilty. We totally did that shit. It would probably be a representative. They probably have people.
I know they would still leave me unread. I've sent them so many emails.
Have you really?
A lot of you. I said because they ask questions on side stories, I respond to them.
I see,
and it's fine. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah,
he said.
So, but what do you think about the map that she made? Do you think it's arbitrary, or do you think it actually holds weight?
What Carl Sagan said is arbitrary points of light.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So it's such a good burn.
Isn't that what life is? Just arbitrary points of light?
Depends who you are.
Charlie is mad about it. I'm curious on how their pregnancy tests are.
Well, I was watching a video that there were pregnancy tests after this happened that involved a needle in the navel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not an expert on pregnancy tests, obviously, but I don't think they do that anymore.
They're like, what if you pee on it? They're like, no, I was listening to this alien case. Like, what if we just shove this needle in the stomach?
I don't know if they do any kind of test like that anymore. I hope not.
They're like, the bad news is you were pregnant. The good news is we have kebabs now.
Jesus, Tyler.
What's the point? Like, you just go until you feel something?
I don't know.
I feel like the chair. You went all the way through me.
Again, I am not an expert
You're a shish kebab.
On pregnancy tests, but I think there is a test like that. My chat went down.
It's probably a good thing guys don't have to take pregnancy tests. I feel like we'd be like 5 months along and just be like, God, I've gotten fat. That I could be wrong, but that's... Or how they plant alien babies. Yeah. Dude, they just stick them in the stomach.
Like an injection, almost.
Yeah.
Would that take, though?
I don't know. It might have been a test. What if they tried to implant her and it just didn't work? Or maybe they were hoping she had a baby. Like, what if it wasn't implanting her with a baby? What if it was implanting the baby with something alien, but she wasn't pregnant? And they were like, damn it.
It's test for genetic defects.
What?
The needle. And the
needle.
Oh. To test for genetic defects.
Yes. Yeah. Good job, Logan. That's true. I don't know. Or they're just trying to implant babies in your babies.
Well, they didn't have any kids.
My baby was pregnant the day it was born.
Betty and Barney did not have any kids.
LOL, are your genes good enough for butt? Oh, gosh. What if they put a baby in Barney's butt? Well, they learned quickly about probably how humans work.
Yeah. They did put that too, and then really quickly and pulled it back out.
Listen, for those of you on Patreon, you're going to hear this in probably like 2 weeks, but I'm going to say it now. What if we organized a massive LARPing event?
Oh my gosh. Where
I will never stay on topic for a full 30 minutes. It is scientifically impossible. What if we did a massive LARPing event? And like, what if it was like, you had to sign up, right?
Yeah.
So you have to sign up. And like we cap it at like 50 people, and there's Team Charlie and there's Team Tyler, and it's obviously amicable. Like we're not actually like battling, but it's just like we pick our teams. But then we have like a draft, and then they come. We'll meet somewhere in the middle that isn't Michigan, like Montana. Let's go to Montana. We'll do this, and we'll have this huge LARPing event, and it's been like I've been thinking about this for an hour.
We should do like UFO LARPing.
Yes.
So I do have this picture. I will show the chat. This is me in. Probably 2000.
There.
Oh, it's so far away.
Yeah, I got you. That's Charlie.
That's good. Yeah, that's me. That's 2014, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Alienlarping. See, I've moved on a little bit from the people who've been in the Google Hangouts. You know about my zombie idea. About doing, like, real world, like a... almost like paintball, kind of, but you're zombies. Well, you're not zombies, you're people, and you have an objective, but then you hire actors to be zombies, and when you shoot them with a paintball, they're like red paintball, and they have to wear white shirts, so you shoot them, it's like blood, and like, oh, you got me, but then you just change your shirt.
Yeah.
But that's, these are all big ideas right now. Like, we can't afford good lights, so I can't do these zombie ideas or this LARPing event. I'm just throwing them out into the ether on wax, so that maybe eventually... we can do that. When we're on that last podcast level, and we can start doing fun stuff like full scale LARPing. But back to what
Benny
y'all are...
and Barney Hill.
Yeah. Did you think it was as long of a story as you thought it was when you were going through it? Because you prefaced it that it was a very long story.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I thought, although it could have been longer. Because I could have gone into Webb's history and Heinrich's history.
That's true. When you bring in the history, like if you just told the story of that night, it's short. But then, you talked about their history and things like, which is good.
I could have even just padded it with like Webb has an incredible history. The NICAP has an incredible history. J. Allen Hynek has an incredible history. If you talk about all those people, all those surrounding factors that believe the Hills, and then it gets even more credible.
Let's see. You just want to have a meetup. If everybody came to Ohio.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do that. Someone asked us on Instagram if we ever do meetups. I wouldn't mind.
We could just play the forest.
No.
What about the one where you're trapped on an island? It looks exactly the same as the forest.
Isn't it just the island?
No, it's like one. That one's not foresty. It's like octopusy. I wish I could LARP. I love D&D, but I don't have the money or friends to LARP.
LARP. I mean, I made my own swords. It was pretty cheap.
Don't starve.
Yeah, don't do that. No.
I think we're talking about the island thing.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Unless there's something I might have missed.
I don't think so. And D&D is great.
Yeah, I've only done it once, and it was on film, and it wasn't great. But you can find it on YouTube if you search hard enough.
Yeah.
But back to Betty and Barney, Betty.
What did you want to bring up?
Do y'all say, I brought up how long it was? I brought up Zeta Reticula.
Yeah, well, we didn't finish the map.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that carried more weight than some people gave it credit? Or do you think she just winged it and it seemed to fit?
There's no way she just... That map was, like, really good. I don't think she wung it. I don't think she winged it. I don't know the tense of that. I don't think she winged it. I think... We're on record. We believe it happened. I think she saw something. It was instilled in her memory. This map she did not understand, and she drew it.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to do that even if I saw it.
I mean, there's the argument that this happened 3 years before her hypnosis. But I think because she was under hypnosis when she drew the map, like if they asked her to draw it not under hypnosis, she wouldn't be able to do it.
You don't think so?
No, but I think because she was under hypnosis, she was able to pull it back up. Does that make sense?
I wish I had a memory like that.
I don't think she does. That's the thing.
That was a separate thought.
Oh, okay.
But even if I was under hypnosis, man, but then again, man, I don't want to go under. There's probably so many things I've repressed.
I like this comment. Carl Sagan is full of himself. He is.
He didn't want to admit aliens are real.
He doesn't, dude.
Map definitely makes it very hard to not believe the whole situation.
Absolutely.
So what thoughts, and I'm planning this out there, we'll keep talking about the map for a minute, but what thoughts do y'all have about this episode that you want to hear us discuss in the next 7 minutes?
What's your biggest evidence? What do you find the most probable evidence?
Surprisingly, well, I would say 2 things. I would say the physical side. I would say their ailments and the car, the markings on the car.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what would have caused that.
I almost didn't put that in the episode.
I'm glad you did. I might have went viable if you didn't. That's probably not true. But it's when it comes to the idea of that maybe they were attacked by real people or like the Ruth joke or things like that, I don't know where that comes into play. I don't know if I buy the radiation as much because I don't know how they would have personally tested it. And I think it's hilarious that they left it out. Like, I'm going to air dry the radiation off.
This is very silly to me.
But I don't know how they would have known. I
think they just had a hunch. I don't know.
I don't buy that. Now, if it was tested, like in, for instance, the Dyatlov Pass, like that was tested, and there was hints of radiation in that. Which I just saw another article talking about how it was an avalanche in.
Oh, Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah, it was like that special avalanche.
No one ever knows. No one's ever gonna know.
And yeah, I was reading it. I was like, man, don't just take the easy way out. Avalanche, and then like animals feasted on their eyes and stuff, and that's why they were missing their tongues and their eyes. I was like, you're ruining it. But it was a very, very in-depth, a very good article. But I would say their physical injuries and the marking on the car. What would you say convinced you the most that it was believable?
That strange powder was very convincing to me. The shoe was obviously convincing to me. I like the watch too. That the watch stopped. That both their watches stopped.
Yeah.
The biggest piece for me, though, is probably the watches. I don't really talk about that much, but I don't know what else could have stopped them. Like, why would they just stop?
I know we didn't say. I think we're assuming they stopped at the same time. It didn't say, right?
Did not say.
Yeah. It's just, it's the is it Gestalt? Where the pieces are bigger than the whole.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If you just say the story at face value, and it's like, okay, there's an alien abduction. Are we still... Oh, no. We're gonna...
Oh, we're gone. Oh, no.
Oh, guys, listen. There's no way for things not to... We even have an air conditioner up here now.
Jesus.
We literally even have an air conditioner up here now, and it just does not... It doesn't matter.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't matter, y'all. I know you can still hear us.
Yeah.
I know you can still hear us.
Just went away.
At least there's only like 4 minutes left. But at the same time, it's kind of like, what the heck? You know what I mean?
I know. Chris said the audio, which is fair. The audio is creepy. Recovered memories are sketchy, though. That's true. And that's the big thing that caused hey!
See,
is that the webcam?
Yeah, see, we are...
Good last minute.
We're resourceful here. You try to keep us down. You can't do it. We got 2 cameras.
I don't love that anymore.
Can't afford LARPing, but we got 2 cameras.
That's a good last minute thing to do.
Thank you. And actually, it's framed really well. I don't know if you could tell from all the way back there. But Charlie shaved.
I did.
We did.
Hey,
why don't you show him what Eddie came up with, and we'll shout out Eddie.
Oh, okay.
He was one of our earlier designers, and they made the jam session shirt. So the one where there's like the cryptids on the porch.
And the BTB hat.
They made the BTB hat too.
Better than I can.
It's right there.
Oh, wrong way. All right, so we're gonna go with that first one, right, or the third one?
Yeah, you're showing the top one.
Oh.
No.
There
it is. All right, yeah, that's supposed to be me. Yeah, now show me you.
And that's gonna be an emote for Twitch.
Yeah, I still don't know what that is. So Charlie, we're gonna have a.
Someone do an emote in the chat.
Well, I saw them earlier, but it's like.
Yeah.
But then, so this one's gonna be Charlie.
I'm gonna do the first one.
Yeah, there it is. Look at him. Look how angry he is. He's just looking for Fresno Nightcrawler to kick.
I like it a lot.
So, a week removed, less than a week. I still go believable.
I do too.
What do you, if y'all voted, do you go believable? Do you go viable? Do you go skeptical? Do you go unbelievable? I feel like this is a natural conclusion to the episode discussions that we should start doing, where we get the chat to say whether they find it believable or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know your opinions.
Yeah, so tell us, do you find it believable or not? Because honestly, there's the...
Yeah.
I think this is one of the more credible ones that we've done. Especially since they don't actually have to have gone to space. I don't know why that makes a difference.
They didn't have to.
I don't know why that makes it feel more believable to me. My laptop has been going hard body for like 3 hours, and it's like, guys, come on.
Give me 15.
It doesn't even know that we're doing something on Patreon after this.
Yeah, if you're part of the viable.
Also, if you're not on Patreon and you want to join us on Patreon, go to patreon.com and /Believe in the Bizarre. Literally at 8:45 p.m. in 16 minutes.
For the dedicated tier.
We're going to first shut my laptop down. But then for an hour, we are going to be on Google Hangouts, Google Meet, with our $10 dedicated tier on Patreon. So if you want to hang out a little bit longer, you can go there.
I'm shook.
You think that Orca went skeptical?
And Logan, too.
Viable skepticals. I just can't take the recovered memories as good proof. Take
one
of the other things as proof.
There's the magnetic trunk.
Yeah, or the watches stop.
But I think that would make you at least viable. You know
what?
If you can't take the audio and those other things as proof, you can at least take them as viable.
I've seen really bad acting, and I've also seen really forced acting. And listening to those audio files, I'm not saying it could be fake, but then there's also is it true, or do they believe it's true? Because it could still be fake, and they believe it's true.
That's true.
That's still possible.
I believe it, though.
I believe at the very least that they believe it, right? I don't think... Yeah, okay. So so I'm not saying that they didn't think it was real. That's fair. It could be fake.
Did it actually happen?
Yeah. I don't know. But that is the end of this episode discussion. I keep wanting to say episode series because it's just been floating in my head. Check those out too if you haven't. But this is over. We're going to be doing these every single Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Some are going to be longer, some are going to be shorter. We try to plan our entire month out early, and today we're just it's jam-packed. Yeah. So if you want to hang out a little bit longer, check us out on Patreon, our dedicated tier. In about 15 minutes, we're going to be going on Google Meet. But otherwise, take care. Everybody have a great night.
See you tomorrow.
And we will see you tomorrow.